Hi, my name's Talia, and this is my final project on pollution of lead acid batteries. Come along with me. Why is this happening? Improper disposal of batteries in landfills. When you don't recycle them, they corrode and they go into the ground when you put them in landfills. They have a short lifespan, so you have to make a lot of them, and the process of making them is harmful. And they are energy intensive to make, and they release toxic fumes. People opening them on their own. When they do that, toxic fumes are also released into the earth. Who's benefiting? So vehicles need them. So vehicle owners, recycling industry, the manufacturers, backup power system users such as hospitals, data centers, and networks, and then they are also used for industrial equipment. What effects are we experiencing now, and what effects could we experience down the road? Currently, are causing a lot of harm to the environment, such as health issues, as well as with leaks and dust spreading. So, with health risks, there's a lot of memory loss that is related to it. For the future, a widespread of damage that is irreversible, along with higher health issue risks, larger pollution into the environment from the leakages, and everything else. Some examples of health issues are higher infertility rates and higher risks of miscarriages. And for the environment, a biodiversity loss because the leakages are going into water and soil. Are certain parts of the world or ecosystems experiencing these effects to a higher degree than others? Yes. They are more in a low to middle income countries, such as Africa, South Asia, and Latin America. About 33% of lead exposure is shown from lead acid batteries in these areas. This is from informal recycling, lack of safety, and spills into soils and water. And when they do spill into soils and water, it goes into their drinking water, their rivers, their lakes, and it affects aquatic life, along with urban agriculture, and it gets into their crops and then it's going into their food that they're eating. What institutions are hurting or helping this issue? So, for hurting, the wrong recycling procedures, exporters who ship used batteries, a Nigerian and Californian factory that exposed many. For helping, nonprofits that help clean up and better recycling, such as Pure Earth, and closed loop recycling, which means that 99% of materials are recycled. Agencies that have strict regulations on proper disposing, such as a Battery Council International, and more research is being done as well. What alternatives are available now or will be in the future with pros and cons? So, right now we have lithium iron phosphate batteries that have longer battery life. They have about 15 years of battery life that can be used and contain lower levels of lead. The pros are that they are better for the environment, lower cost, and longer battery life. The cons are higher upfront cost for nickel, lower energy than lithium, and lithium does involve mining. In the future, there will be more batteries that will be a direct replacement for lead acid batteries that are also low prices, and one of those include a sodium ion battery. And the pros for that is they use cheap materials and they are safer. Cons are they can't store as much energy as lithium and there are higher risks for fire if they're not managed correctly. Here's some pictures. So this one shows some of the batteries that are a better option. This one shows how the batteries are made and how they can affect the environment. This one just shows like how you can recycle them and how it works to go all the way around. And then there's just a picture of pollution that it has caused. So what course of action would you pursue? I'm going to use batteries that are recyclable and recycle them properly and not on my own, as well as encouraging it to everyone else. I'm also going to make sure to keep my batteries maintenance and promote using safer batteries and use them myself. I'd also like to buy batteries that aren't just the cheap ones, but also that are going to be better for the environment overall. So for concept one, I did a chemical reaction and have the equation written out. But just to go through it, Pb is lead, PbO2 is lead dioxide, H2SO4 is sulfuric acid. And when those get combined, it creates sulfate, lead, and water. Also, this means that the reaction can go either way. So, like this says, left to right produces energy, and then right to left consumes the energy. That's why it has those two arrows, because the reaction can go either way. So, it is a reduction oxidation reaction, which means that the lead dioxide gains electrons, and the oxidation is the lead and it loses electrons. So our next concept is condensed electron configuration, and if we find a lead on the periodic table and we go to the noble gas before it, it's going to be Xe. And lead's atomic number is 82, so we would take Xe's atomic number, which is 54, and subtract it which gives us 28. So then what we do is we put XC in brackets, and then we would add the rest to get to 28, and that would be our final answer. Thanks for watching. Okay. Stop! Hey. Restart. Okay. Ready. I'm sorry. Then